Good morning and welcome to Tuesday morning's chair yoga. Please make sure that your chair is secure, it's not going to fall apart, and that you've got enough space around you, you're not going to hit or kick anything. If you feel any pain at any time or something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't, so make sure that you stop. We're going to start by sitting down on our chair. If you can, sit back as far as you can go. This is not my great chair, but with this chair, I'll turn it to the side. It's not like my other chair. It's a very straight back chair. So if I was to lean back in it, I'd start to feel very slumpy. So I have to kind of sit up a little bit in this and keep an area from the back from it. Otherwise, I start to go like that. So it depends on the chair that you're sitting on, how you sit on it. But always make sure you're trying to keep yourself up nice and straight. That your feet are flat on the floor. If you need to, put a block so that if your feet are on tiptoes, that you're lifting them up so that they're sitting down properly. And they should be in line with your hips, so again, not too far out. But again, it doesn't really matter because we're sitting down and we're not using our knees. So bringing the shoulders down. We're going to think about our breathing, and with this breath, we're going to try and breathe out through the belly, through the nose. Then we're not going to think about breathing in, we're just going to stop breathing out. And just feel where the breath comes in. We can bring our fingers together in our hand whenever we want to. Just pulling in the belly as we breathe out. Relaxing and letting the breath come in wherever it wants to. We're going to take a big breath in, stretching our arms up. And breathe out through the mouth. Bringing it back down. So let's do our neck stretches. Keeping our shoulders nice and down, we're going to bring our head forward as we breathe out and breathe in, taking it backwards. So breathing out, going forward. And breathing in, coming back. We're going to do 3 more forward and 3 more back. So we'll do 4 on each side. remember, if you need to, you can always take that head if you find it's too much on the neck. And then bring it back to centre. So we're going to take the chin from side to side, tucking the chin in, tick-tock it over that side and over to the other side. And bring it back up. And we're going to turn and look over the shoulder. Bring it back to centre. My chair just off slightly. So from here, let's bring our shoulders. So we're going to take the shoulders up towards our ears, bring them forward so that we're curling them as close as they can be, bring them down, bring them back and try and get the shoulder blades to touch, and then roll them back up. So we're rolling them forward, we're rolling them down, we're rolling them back, we're lifting them back up, we're bringing them forward, opening that shoulder blade at the back, pulling them down. Feel the shoulder blades move around the body, pulling them back. Let's do one more. Feel it. And now we're going to take it the other way, so I'm keeping it exactly where it is. We're going to bring it forward. We're going to lift it up. We're going to roll it back. We're going to pull it down. Forward. Up. Back. Down. Two more. Forward. Up. Back. Down. Last one. Feel it. And bring it back. Give your shoulders a lift. So from here, you're just going to bend and straighten the elbows. Trying to get the hands to touch if you can. Then we're going to take it out. We're going to start with one thumb down, one thumb up, and we're just going to rotate. Trying to push the hands over as far as you can go. Feeling that rotation through the arms, through the elbows, through the wrist. And then we're going to bring it back down. Give your arms, give your shoulders a little shake. So with the fingers, you're just going to stretch, make it into a tight fist, and then stretch the fingers out. Tight fist, stretch the fingers out. And then shake out the hands. We'll take it into our cat and cow. We'll start with our left little finger on the bottom first. You're going to push out, tuck the pelvis under, push forward. Breathing out. As you breathe in, if you want, you can take the two fingers together. You can turn the palms under, lift the hands up, reach back. Breathing in. Let's breathe out, but we're bringing the opposite little finger to the bottom, pushing forward. Breathing in. Two more. Changing that little finger. And bring it back down. Lovely. So let's do our side to side. Now if you need to, if you want, you've got a block, you can place one on one side, you can then take it over or have two blocks if you've got two. You can also just have your hand on your leg if you don't want to go all the way over, if you haven't got a block. So from here, we're lifting the arm up. Remember, if you can't get it up, you can just take it to here, or you can keep it down. The other hand's going down onto the block, onto the side. So we're breathing in, and as we breathe out, we're reaching over to the side. Look up towards the ceiling. Push the bum cheek towards the floor, so that we're not lifting over. Breathing into the top of that lung. And then breathing in, lift. Breathe out, bring it down. So let's try the other side. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, take it over. Now remember, you can always grab the leg if you don't have a block and push the leg in opposite directions. And then breathing in. Let's do one more. Lift it. Let's take it over the other side. and bringing it back up. Take the arms down. So we're going to take it into a twist. Now if you want to, you can lift the arms and twist round and use your hand on your leg and a hand on the chair. Or you can just turn and look over the back. Always listen to your spine. It will tell you what you can do and what you can't. So here you go. Breathing in, lift. Breathe out, twist. Have a look over the back. Have a think about where you're breathing. And let's breathe in. Let's take it round the other side. Let's do one more each side. Let's change. And then lifting up, bringing the arm down. So we're going to go into a diagonal forward bend. So we're taking our legs out so that they're coming to the outside edges of our chair. We're going to turn ourselves round so that we're over the front. So if you're standing up, you're just doing this. You're taking your legs apart. If you're standing up, you like that. So, you're going to turn round and you're facing over your knee. Now make sure that other knee doesn't roll in. You want to keep pushing it back. You're going to breathe out and bring yourself down over that leg. So that your chin is going past your knee. Or trying to. You feel a nice diagonal stretch, especially through that lower back. If you're sitting a lot, it tends to be this area that tends to pull a bit. Now bring your hands back to your knees, your legs, and use your hands to push you back up. If you're coming up from this thing, make sure you bend your knees. Bring yourself back to centre. So we're going to go the other side. So pulling yourself round as much as you can. Chin up, breathe out, take it down. You're trying to place your chest down. If it doesn't go, don't worry. And again, we're bringing that hands back to the knees. We're using the hands to push us back up. Bring it back to centre. Let's do one more. arms up, lifting ourselves back. Let's change sides. Bring the hands back up. Use that to push up. Bring yourself back to centre. Bring them feet back in. So I'm going to drop it down a little bit.
Don't you see me head now?
So we're going to take it into our pelvic floor. So if we want to turn our hands over, bring ourselves up nice and straight. We're going to imagine at the back we're stopping ourselves from breaking wind, at the front we're stopping ourselves from having a wee, and then we're going to pull our pelvic floor in. Squeeze the legs together. Remember, if you've got a block, you may want to squeeze the block between your legs as well, because this helps. So here we go. Pulling everything in. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Here we go again. At the back, at the front, at the belly. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you breathe. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Here we go again. At the back, at the front, at the belly. And squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Here we go, number 4. At the back, at the front, at the belly, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Last one. At the back, at the front, at the belly, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. You just have to shake. So we're going to do the leg lift. We're going to try and march, but keeping our muscles in. So again, we're going to pull them pelvic floor in, pull that abdominals, and just lifting our feet off the floor. So squeezing everything. We're just lifting up and down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to take it out. So we're lifting up and we're seeing if we can point and flex and bring it back in again. Now remember, if you can't lift the leg, you can hold on to it so that it lifts off the chair. You don't want it on the chair, you don't want it here doing that. You want to lift it up. So again, pulling in and pointing and flexing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you'll feel that that starts to work right into the stomach muscles. So we're going to work on our outside of our thigh. we're going to move our bum to the edge of our chair and bring our foot, place it up on the thigh. Keep the foot nice and flexed so that you're not pointing it. Flex it so the knee's relaxed. Let the knee bounce. And then we're going to bring it off and try the other leg. So flexing the foot, bring it up, let it flat. Just giving that hip a chance to relax. So let's take it back down. Let's bring the other one back up again. So this time we're going to bring ourselves forward. We're leaning our elbow on our knee. We can let our head rest on it, and that way we're adding a little extra weight to the leg. Then we can work on our toes. So if you pinch your toe, pull it and give it a twist in one direction and give it a twist in the other. About 5 circles one way, 5 circles the next. Then move on to the next toe. Pull in, pinching and twisting. And then the next toe. And then the next toe. And then the last toe. Bring the foot slightly over, so now you can relax the foot. You're going to turn the foot in a circle. And then you can turn the foot in another circle, opposite direction. You can pull the toe into a point, and then you pull the toes all the way back into flexing the foot. So you're pulling it forward into a really big point, and then you're pulling it back. Let's do one more of those. Down and back. And then while you're here, just have a feel of your foot. Give your foot a little press in different points. Just going around. Looking for any kind of pain, any kind of like, ooh, sicky feeling, anything that feels a bit off when you're touching it. And that usually corresponds with somewhere in your body. But it's also a good chance just to see if you've got any hard skin, how the feet are. Remember, these are our biggest supporters. So keep a check on them. A little bit of hard skin there. And then we're going to bring the foot down. Now, before we move the other foot up, we're just going to close our eyes and have a think. How does the knees feel on the leg that you've had up and the opposite leg? How does the hip feel? The thighs, the calves, the ankles, the toes, the feet. Is there any difference whatsoever? Feel them. Is the temperature the same as in the 2 feet? And then we can bring the other foot up. So again, we're leaning forward. We're placing our elbow down. We're letting our head just rest. And then we're starting with our toes. And as you're pulling the toes, can you feel that pull anywhere else? Can you feel it up in the knees as you're doing it? On each different toe. and then to the next toe. And then to the next toe. And then to the last toe. Then we're going to slide the foot over and we're going to point it. Oh, sorry, we're going to go round in a circle first, sorry. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. And around in the opposite direction. Just loosening up the ankle joints. Then we're pointing and we're flexing, but we're making sure we're pulling back them toes so they're stretching the whole of the bottom. We're pointing and we're flexing. And again, we're just going to have a look and a feel over the foot. And then we're bringing it back down. Give your feet a little stamp. We're going to bring ourselves up to standing. So with this, we're going to take ourselves into either stand up straight out of it. So you can come up and stand up. Or the last couple of weeks we've been coming up to here, holding it in chair, standing up. And the same thing when we go down, we're holding it in chair before we sit down. It's up to you. We're going to do 5 up and 4 down, holding each time in chair for a little bit. For a couple of steps, about 2 breaths, 3 breaths. So, feet at the edge, arms above the head if you want, or remember they can be here, they can be here. So from there, we're going up, holding. Pull them stomach muscles in, tighten up the pelvis, and then we're going to breathe in, lift it up. As we breathe out, we're sitting down. Now we're holding it 3 breaths. Then sit down. Here we go again. So lift. Hold. And then push, reach back. Sit down. Hold. And sit down. Here we go again. Lift up, breathe in. Breathing out, sit, hold. Sit down. Here we go. And up. Let's sit down. And sit. This is going to be our last one and we're going to stay up. Lift. push back, take the arms down by your side. Lovely. So I'm going to drop the camera angle and we'll go into the back of our chair. So we're taking our feet into working the back of our foot. We're going to step our foot back, place our heel flat down on the floor. You can have the hand on the chair, you don't have to if you don't want to, remember. You're bending the front knee, but you're pushing the back knee away. Really feeling that stretch through that calf. And then taking it back in, step the other one back. Heel goes down, we're pushing into that front knee, we're pushing that back knee back. And again, we're peeling it off, stepping in. I'm going to change the direction. So stepping back, push into that front leg. Remember, if you can step it back a little further, you can do. Bend the front knee, push the other knee back. The hips stay straight, so you don't want to be going round to the side. So before we go in with this one, we're going back and we're sitting, so we're bending that back knee. We're kind of straightening that front knee. And we'll feel it move all the way down to the Achilles, right at the heel. And bringing it back up, step it back in. So again, stepping that foot back, pushing into the front leg, pushing that back knee away. And then we're going to bend the back knee, sit down. Remember, if you've got that chair and you need it, always there for you. And bring it back up. So we're going to do a move with that, so I'm going to turn it round. So we're stepping back into our second one, so into our Achilles heel. And then we're just going to roll it very gently side to side. Bring it back to centre. Let's change. Stepping it back, sitting back into that Achilles drop, gently moving it side to side. then bring it to centre. Step it back in. With your feet at the wall. So we're going to do our movement from here. We're going to, again, standing in by our chair if we need to. Having our legs either in line with our spine or together. We're going to come up onto our tiptoes and back down. Come up onto our tiptoes and back down. Let's do 2 more. Up onto our tiptoes and down, and 1 more. From here, we're going to, I'm going to still point this way, I'm going to lift that camera up a little bit so that you can see my hips. So again, if you need the chair, have the chair. You're going to stand on one leg, lifting the other leg up so that the knee is lifted. Then you're going to lift the hip up using the hip muscles, and then you're going to try and push it down as far as you can go. So you're lifting the hip up, you're pushing it down. We're going to take it down. We're going to try the other side. Turn around so I can watch. The leg comes up. We're lifting the hip up. We're lifting it down. So again, if you didn't want to hold it, you can hold the chair, the hand. So it's the hip that's doing it. And we're trying to push it right down. Pulling it up. And we're taking it down. And then bring it back to centre. Bring the foot down. Lovely. So we take it into our aerobic stretch. We're taking the foot out to the side. I'll do it backwards. No. Out to the side. Bringing it back in. Taking it back, keeping that foot straight, working on that butt, bringing it in. Now push the hips forward, roll back. Bringing the body back up. Taking it to the other side. Keeping that foot turned in. Bringing it back. Take it backwards. Bring it in. Push the hips forward, shoulders roll back. Keep the chin tucked in. Let's do 1 more. Out to the side. Bring it back. Tuck the foot behind. Bring it back. Push the hips forward, shoulders come back. Stretch through the front. Bring it back up. Last one. Out to the side, bring it in, kick the foot back, bring it in, push back, bring it back up. So let's do our last stretch, which is our down dog. We're going to, from here, step back. Now remember, your hands can be on the chair. They can be on the lower part, down here. If you want to go to the floor, you can go to the floor. It's completely up to you. But you're going forward, stepping back, pushing back to down dog. And with this, you'll get a stretch all the way from the bottom of the legs all through that lower back. So every time you're sitting down, if you're sitting down for hours, say every
2 hours, get up and do something like this, a nice stretch. And it'll stretch the shoulders, stretch the arms, stretch the back. Everything from sitting. If you want, you can wiggle your bum side to side and you'll feel that stretch increase down each side. If you can't get your back straight, then you might find bending the knees makes it a bit easier. You can still bend and move the hips. And then we're going to bring ourselves forward, step our foot in, bend our knees, lift ourselves up. Before we go and sit down, we'll have a bit of a mad one, a bit of a play, and we'll do tiger from here. So on our chair, you can bring your hands onto the chair and your feet onto the floor. You're going to lift, if your legs are on here, you can always have your hand on the back of the chair as well. Now if your hand on the back of the chair, that's the one you're going to lift off. You're going to lift the opposite foot off. You never want to lift the hand at the front off, otherwise you can tip the chair. So it's always the hand at the back, lifts off, and you're bringing the opposite leg out. Feel as if someone's pulling your foot in one direction, pulling your arm in the other. And then we're going to bring the hand down, bring the foot down. Now we can change sides. I'll move to the opposite side of the chair. So the hand that's at the back of the chair, that's the one that's going to lift off, and it's going to be the opposite foot is going to lift off. Squeeze the stomach muscles, tuck the chin in, try and get a nice long straight neck. And bringing the hand down, bring the foot down, bend the knees, bring it back up. Let's change sides, last time. So bringing ourselves down, the hand at the back of the chair lifts the opposite foot. Now only if you wanted, you could try and bend that back leg, reach the hand back, grab hold of the foot and push up into tiger pose. But you don't have to. And then we're going to let go if we have and push them back out into tiger. Bring the hand down, bring the leg down, bend the knees, bring ourselves up. Let's try the other side. Remember, you don't have to try these if you don't want to. So bend the knees, bringing the hand down onto the back of the chair. Lift the hand off at the back of the chair, lift the foot off. Stretch out, hold it in tiger. This is working your shoulders, your back muscles, all the muscles that run along the spine, your bum, your back thighs. So again, everything you sit on and isn't really working while you're sitting at a computer or watching TV. And again, if we can, we bend the knee, we reach the hand back, we push the foot up, Turn to have a look if you can. So we're going to let the hand come out, stretch out, bring the hand down, bring the foot down, bend the knees, lift it back up. Lovely. So we can bring ourselves back to sit down on our chair. I'm going to now, you may want to go backwards, but I'm going to go backwards so that you can see what I'm doing. Am I in the right place? Yeah. So, you'll have there in one hand, we're going into cow face. You're going to bring the thumb up, and that's got the elastic if you need it, your rope. The other hand goes thumbs down, comes in, grabs hold. You're pulling the elbows backwards. And then we're undoing the bottom hand, it's coming out. The top hand's coming up and out. We can swap the rope over. Thumb up, thumb down, it comes in. We're pulling the elbows back, we're trying to walk our hands up that rope, but we don't worry if it's nowhere near, doesn't matter. We just want to keep them elbows pulling back. I'm going to turn around in a second. And then undo, undo. So let's change hands. So we're pulling the elbows back. And then undo, turn them over, pull them in. A kind of similar movement we were doing earlier at the beginning when we were rotating the arms backwards and forwards. And undo, take the arms down. So we're going to go into an eagle twist. We're bringing our one foot over the top. If you can, you come up onto your tiptoes, hook that leg around. Now the leg that's on top, you're going to use the opposite hand to pull, and you're looking over your shoulder. You can use your hand on your chair to pull you round, grab hold of it anywhere you want, grab hold of your clothes, but you're using that hand on the leg to twist you to look round the back. And then we're going to bring it back round. We're going to stay here. We're going to take our hand down the other side and look in the opposite direction. And bring it back round to the front.
So undo that leg. Let's try the other leg. So lift it over. Come up onto your tiptoes if you need to. Wiggle that foot round. Push it round if you can. It's the only time when I actually say you can because we're sitting down. Opposite hand comes round. We're breathing in, stretching up. We're pulling ourselves round. We can use the hand round the back onto the chair to help pull. And let's take it around the other side. So taking the arm down, look behind. And bring it back to the centre. Undo them legs. Sit yourself back in your chair, lie yourself down, put a jacket on if you feel a bit chilly. Turn your palms over, make sure that your feet are touching the floor. And bring it up. So from here, we're letting our shoulders drop down, we're closing our eyes. We're bringing them thoughts back into that stomach. We're breathing out through the nose, pulling the belly in. And as we breathe, as we stop breathing out, just let the body fill up. Let the stomach fill up. Just watching what's happening in the stomach and in the lungs. take our arms above our head, take a big deep breath in.
And then breathe out through the mouth as if we're blowing a candle out.
And let's do another one.
We can stretch the arms. And then when we need to,
so thank you for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed that. Keep having a few goes at them things, especially the hip ones. They're really good for the knees, and then next week we'll do some more for the ankles and the feet and toes. So I shall see you all later. Take care.